We all have that one goal, the one that feels impossible. It's like a wall you can't see, but you can feel it in your bones. For me, that was an idea. I called it Sub 4 Mission. It wasn't just about hitting a number, it was a symbol for any barrier that whispers, you can't. For a long time, the 4 minute mile was a wall like that for the entire world of athletics. It was treated as a monumental barrier, as much as a psychological limit as a physical one. But what if I told you that the secret to shattering your impossible goals isn't about finding more motivation, but having a better blueprint? It's built my life. I've built my life around 5 core rules that didn't just help me, they define my own sub 4 mission, but will give you the power to break your own barriers. And we start now. A manifesto isn't just a document, it's a declaration. It's a set of principles you decide to live by. Think about it. The Agile Manifesto reshaped the software industry, not with a single product, but with a simple set of shared values. It proved that principles beyond work are what create the breakthrough. This is my manifesto, the sub 4 mission. It's whatever challenge feels just out of reach for you. But these are the 5 rules. They're their system. They are the standards that make achieving the goal feel inevitable. This isn't about a single moment of inspiration. This is about building a new identity. This is the blueprint for breaking any barrier you face. First rule, you have to understand what a limit actually is. We see a barrier like the 4 minute mile and think it's a physical absolute. But that's rarely the whole story. Before Roger Bannister broke it in 1954, the barrier's true power was in the mind. It was a wall built of doubt. Then Bannister crossed the line, and once he proved it was possible, the psychological dam broke. John Landy did it in just 46 days later, and in the years that followed, the floodgates opened. Did human psychology magically change overnight? Of course not. The perception of the limit changed. The wall was never as solid as it seemed. Your impossible goal is the same. The first step isn't to run at it harder, but it's to see it for what it actually is. It's not a concrete wall, it's a line drawn in the sand, a line that you have the power to cross and redraw. So, how do you do this? Stop seeing your goal as one terrifying event. Break it down. A sub 4 mission isn't about suddenly running a 4 minute mile, it's about the daily mission to become the kind of person you can. It's about training, the discipline, the consistency. The wall isn't the problem is you treating it like a wall in the first place. Your first action is to relabel your limit. It's not your impossible, it's your next. Rule 2. We all love the idea of willpower, but let's be honest, relying on your mood is to get the things done is a losing strategy. Some psychologists talk about ego and depletion. The idea that willpower is a finite resource. While the science on that has faced some issues, the practical truth remains. We all felt it some days, and you're on fire, and some days you rather do anything else. Willpower is for emergencies. Discipline is for everything else. Motivation gets you started, but the discipline builds the engine. It's the commitment to your system on days that you feel zero. Inspiration, we don't wait until we feel like it. We choose discipline. Look at any high achiever. Their success wasn't born from a single burst of effort, but from a smart regime executing consistency. Roger Bannister's record wasn't just about bravery on race day, it was the result of his specific training, his use of paces, and his methodologically planned attempt. It was a system. You have to build your own system. Don't just set a goal, build a schedule. Don't just wish for progress, Define the non-negotiable actions you take every single day or week. If your goal is to write a book, your system is writing 300 words every day, even when they're garbage. If you want to run a marathon, your system is putting your shoes on for the scheduled run, rain or shine. The goal isn't the prize. The prize is becoming the person who runs the system day in, day out. Rule 3. We taught to believe in ourselves before we start. And yeah, vision is important, but that's not how the human brain really builds up deep confidence. I prefer a more powerful idea. Action is the prerequisite for belief. You don't start by believing you can shatter your limits. You start by taking one small manageable action, then another and another. Belief isn't some magical spark, it's a foundation you build yourself, one brick at every time. Every tiny success, every completed rep, that's a brick. You lay enough of them, and soon you build something so solid the idea of failure starts to feel more ridiculous than the idea of success. Your brain is a prediction machine. It figures out who you are based on what you do. If you consistently act like someone who shows up and does the work, your brain will start to believe it. Think of it this way. Confidence is a lagging indicator of your habits. So, forget waiting for the right feeling. Your task today is not to conquer the entire mountain, it's to take one step. That's it. Define the smallest possible action that moves you forward and do it. Not because you succeed, but to prove you're willing to try. The belief will follow you, the evidence you create. If this action creates belief, hits home for you, I want you to do two things. First, hit that subscribe button because we're building a community right here based on principles. Second, go to the comments and write down one small action you will take today. Start building your evidence. Make the public declaration. Rule 4. The road to any great goal is littered with what most people call failure, missed targets, setbacks, falling flat on your face. We're conditioned to see these moments as proof. That's why we should stop. But in this manifesto, a failed attempt is not an outcome. It's simply data. This isn't just a feel-good platitude, it's a strategic mindset. When you see failure as a final verdict, you trigger emotional response. Shame, frustration, doubt. When you see it as data, you trigger an analytical response, curiosity, problem solving, adjustment. The story of achievement isn't always of repeated failure. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is how they interpret these setbacks. The successful person asks, what did I learn? My pacing was off. I got distracted. My form broke under pressure. The person who quits says, see, I knew I couldn't do it. To apply this, you have to practice the art of after action review. Whenever you fall short, force yourself to analyze it neutrally. What was the plan? What actually happened? What can I learn? Don't judge, just collect the data. Every piece of data you get from a failed attempt is an insight that makes your next attempt better. Your failures aren't evidence of your weakness, they're a tuition you pay for the success. Rule 5. You probably heard the phrase growth and comfort cannot coexist. It's a powerful line, but it's a little misleading. It suggests all growth requires intense, painful struggle 24/7. A better way to see it is an equation you have to consistently balance. Meaningful growth happens at the edge of your comfort zone, but it requires recovery inside your comfort zone. True breakthroughs don't come from a relentless grind into oblivion. They come from a cycle. Stress, then recover, push, then adapt. It's true in weightlifting, in learning, and in life. You have a stimulus that's just beyond your current capacity. That's the discomfort. Then you have to give your mind and body the space to heal and make that stress the new normal. That recovery, a lot of people burn out because they only embrace the first half of the equation. They push and push, thinking any moment of rest is a sign of weakness. But rest isn't the opposite of work, it's fundamental part of it. Your job is to master this cycle. Learn to push yourself right to the edge where you feel the challenged but not broken. Then learn to unadulteratingly step back and recover. This isn't about being soft, it's about being strategic. It's understanding that progress isn't a straight line, it's a wave. You go hard, you recover, and you come back stronger. Master that rhythm, and you become unstoppable. So, there you are. The 5 rules define the wall. Choose discipline over willpower. Let action create belief. Reframe failure as data balance. Balance growth and comfort. These aren't just tips. This is a blueprint for a new identity. The Sub 4 mission was never just about a number. It's a commitment to a standard. It's a decision to stop accepting the limits you've been handed, and it's to start building systems. This will break them. This is the manifesto. It's not about finding motivation. It's about building a machine that runs without it. We don't hope for breakthroughs. We build for them. If you're ready to stop accepting your limits and start breaking them, subscribe to this channel. This is our shared mission. Now share this video with one person who needs to hear this. And in the comments, tell me, what is your Sub 4 mission? What's your wall you're going to start dismantling today? Welcome to the mission.